All right, we are back in business. It looks like everybody. Nope, somebody's missing. Brad's not here yet.
What?
You're not in Fancy Grounds.
I loaded it up. I just hadn't clicked my.
Oh, okay.
Well, just leave it. It'll load.
No, it won't. I have to.
I did the exact same thing to me. I double clicked on my character. It didn't do anything, and then it loaded through.
The last time it happened, it didn't go anywhere, and then I relaunched the program, and I was able to do it immediately.
Oh my god, this map is huge.
Take that.
Extreme close up.
It's faster to do.
This is so big. Oh, because I scaled the UI 200 on that screen. I have the dice roller scaled to 200, so it shows up readable on the stream.
Ow.
Woo.
Whereas
Alter
the map
of the-
is at normal.
Grung
Gotcha.
hose.
They're all hiding behind that altar in that one
All of them.
square.
Yes, they're all hiding behind the altar.
In that one line of sight block.
Where's the lightning bolt
They're,
when you need them?
they're all just like in a single file at a perfect angle, crouched.
They don't know we're there. Grung's walking single file to hide their numbers.
Ugh, I don't like their teeth.
They're like human teeth on frogs. It's so weird.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It's like seeing teeth on Kermit the Frog or something.
You gotta talk.
So you guys have made your way through the reeds. You did not do it very stealthy. So as you enter these grungs, which look similar to what's his name? Wapadoo? What's his name? Wadumu?
Wapadoo.
Wapadoo.
Good butter wapadoo.
Yeah, what's happening?
That sounds
Wapadoo.
like a derogatory.
Wadumu, while he looks more friendly, these look crazed and have a pale yellow skin with black marks around them. And there is they're kind of like wallowing in this muck around an altar. There's some items on the altar that you can't quite see what they are, but it looks like there's like a large kind of yellowish or reddish toad that's kind of on its belly that's been like split open. There's like a knife, and there's like vials of stuff. And yeah, they look to you hostilely, shrieking. Wadumu quickly translates, and he says, "Evil grungs, not happy see us. We fight now, and roll initiative."
It's fight time. Oh, not so great.
Yeah, nobody has surprise because you guys did terrible on that stealth. I mean, overall, nobody's surprised because they saw you coming.
All right, you and me, Archie.
Or I should say they heard you coming.
Gerald. Oh yeah. Look at us.
Everybody, Gerald, what did Gerald get?
17.
17, Gerald. You know, for a rotund stone guy, this guy moves like the
Pretty nimble.
friggin' wind.
Yeah.
His deck stuff has been great.
Hopefully
but-
his punch is loaded.
Surprisingly, Baz, who's in the back, goes first with an 18. Or does he?
Interesting.
Will the combat start? Tune in next time. Okay, here we are. Baz, you are first. 4 grungs hostilely looking at you.
Sitting on a log.
They are holding daggers.
Bunny ribbit.
And what's your passive perception, Baz? You got pretty good.
Shitty daggers.
As you run forward, you can see that their daggers seem to be coated in some sort of vile substance. Poison? You're not sure.
Poop.
Cool. I'm going to run up there and and just be like, "Come at me!" And I will take the dodge action.
Oh, taking the dodge action.
I
Can
thought
you?
he said combat me.
Combat me.
Come at me!
Wombat.
Make combat maneuvers versus me. Do you can you apply dodge yourself?
You should be able to by going to the
The
status
effects.
thing. Yeah.
Drop
Yeah.
it on yourself.
I
I set up a custom dodge in the effects window, so yeah, you can. Nice, cool. All right, Baz, do you have your shield out or no?
I do not. I am
Okay.
running in both hands on the weapon.
Nice. All right, you done?
I am done.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I will open up the combat tracker and
You can put the little next turn thing on your bottom bar. You want a shortcut for it?
that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Grung number 3 reacts with speed. He shrieks something in a croaking language, and then hops. Or does he? Nope, it lags.
Skips and then jumps.
Shit.
Hop, skip, and a jump.
Without, he just kind of like crouches and like springs forward, or not forward, kind of off to the side, out of the pond and lands over here, and he throws his dagger at Baz. Baz is dodging, and because of that, maybe it's your armor, 15, misses. Either clanks off your armor or you dodge it. I don't know what your. But
My
yeah.
AC is 16. So
Okay. Nice.
Clings off. Yeah.
Then Gerald.
Gerald, he is going to hold his attack if anything comes close to me.
Okay.
And that's it.
Gerald holds his attack.
Because he has no orders to move. So I'm playing it like if he goes before me, that's about all he gets to do. He's just protecting.
I was about to say it makes sense because you haven't been able to give him an order yet. So he's got default protect Archie as his default setting.
Yeah.
This Grung here, in front of you, Baz, rushes forward through the muck, and he shrieks at you and says,
I was just going to say, I feel like these guys are Murloc.
Baz,
That was my best Murloc.
Your dodging is really good, because so far I've dropped a 19 and an 18 against you.
He's floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. Well, he hasn't stung yet.
Blackwind, it's your turn.
Huzzah! Let's see here. I am going to... I'll go to that point. And then... I'm going to drop a hunter's mark from my features onto a guy. I got to use the other thing, though. Skills. Doesn't work on my button right now. Hunter, open. I said open. Why is it? Oh, God, do I have to load my module? Oh, there. Yeah, I have to load the module right now. Fuck. It unloaded my modules. Nope. Why doesn't it have that information now? Oh, bother. Okay. Where's my spell? That's probably why. Oh, there it is. That's why. Sorry. And now that I got that figured out. Yay.
Got him.
Stick him with the sharp end. Oh, it didn't give the 1d6. It didn't register my fucking... And plus 1d6. Something seems all messed up right now, but that's my turn. Did I kill him? He's critical. I know that. Nope. He's still got quite a bit on that life bar.
So you did, no, not quite. Oh, no, why is he not? I'm trying to add the 3 damage and it's lagging.
I know. Why did that not go on?
Did it work?
properly?
Yeah, there it goes. Did you drop it on the right Grung? Remember, you have to shift target. The
Yeah,
Grung?
no, I did. I just don't think I.
You
I must
actually
have-
you gave the Grung 1d6 damage.
Yeah, I know. There, that should be
So-
better.
He's gonna hit you for extra hard.
Yeah.
Aha, he's gonna get you.
Effects. Yeah, no. Why is that not working? Is it control then? I thought it was shift. Anyways, I've already passed my turn. I'll get it figured out.
Okay.
There it goes.
Now the Grung has 2 d6s to his next attack.
Why is it not?
Sorry, I'm having an issue as well. 1 sec. This thing is not showing up the way it's supposed to. What is happening? Hold on. Sorry, guys.
No problem.
That restart apparently gave me all sorts of issues. These it didn't load properly, so I have to fix something.
Possibly like cool.
Okay. I did it. Jonah, you're up. What do you do?
I'm going to yell, "Don't kill him!" And I'm going to run up here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're in talking moods right now.
And then I am going to catapult my pitch through these guys.
Guys? Oh, those two?
Yep.
Okay.
And
All
I'm going
right.
to use the special pitch.
Okay.
So the first one,
It's laggy today.
yeah,
It's success, so he ducks out of the way.
and the second one,
Success again.
and then he'll hit them straight back here and explode.
Coats that square at the back there with pitch. Sorry that didn't work out for you.
And pass the turn.
Okay. The guy that just ducked, that's kind of behind the pillar, he shrieks, and you see him dip his hand beneath the water, and seemingly fiddle with something.
Pulling the plug.
And then he rushes. You can't see what because you can't see under the surface of the water. And then he rushes south, and you lose sight of him, Jonah. And he seems to be shrieking something. Grung number 4 steps forward here, and he does the same thing. He kind of dips his hands beneath the water and seems to be fiddling with something under the surface of the water, and then stands up and rushes south.
Does he have something in his hand?
Nope. Wait. Sorry, it's not your turn, actually.
That's okay.
How dare you?
Why is it not?
Come on. Oh, God, this lag. What the hell? I don't know what's causing it.
Something running on startup on your computer.
Doesn't
Slowing
seem
things
to
down,
be.
maybe.
Out of the where? Oh no, that's not it. One. Okay, that's not it. No, Alan. Sorry, it is your turn.
Hooray. 10, 20, 25.
Okay. I'm gonna do something real quick here. I'm I'm disabling the line of sight. I think that's the line of sight that's fucking things up in this map. I'm just going to disable it. That seems better already.
And I'm going to attack.
Yep.
And bonus action, unarmed strike. Ah, there's the one.
Oh no.
And then, yeah, and I'll stay there.
I wonder how this works. I'm just trying to figure out how this actually works. I don't think it works the way I think it does, so I'm just going to do it the other way. Okay. Archie, what do you do?
All right, I'm going to tell Gerald to go and help Baz, and then I am going to. I'm gonna move 5, 10, 5. I'm going to move up here. Does the altar look like anything's happening on it, or are the items just like jail?
Doesn't look like it's anything's happening on it. There's just items sitting on it.
Okay, I'm going to summon my mage hand on the altar itself, and use it to swipe the items off the altar.
Okay, which item in particular? You can't grab them all.
Huh? I'm just gonna use it to like. Can I just use it to like knock one off?
Not steal the items, but
I just want
literally
to get them,
swipe.
like, get it off the altar, basically.
Right. So Mage Hand can interact with one object a turn. You can't
Sure.
sweep the whole table with it.
It's just a hand.
The frog.
Okay. Whap! Frog splashes into the water.
My mage hand, by the way, is a skeleton, golden skeleton hand with shimmery dust around it.
Ooh.
It's creepy.
Why not just make it a golden fairy skeleton?
And I think can I move it? Use it to. Yeah. Okay. So and then I'm gonna. Yeah. I'll leave it there and stay here. That'll be my turn.
Okay.
Come on. You can do it.
I have faith in you, Fancy Grounds. There we go. It's not actually Waduma's turn though.
Corey, you did this last time.
Do what?
I bet it is actually Waduma's turn.
It's nope. Out of the water, a toad pops out. It is pretty large, like the size of a small dog. Looks like that, and the back of it's covered in these pustules that kind of like pulse,
Looks so happy.
and kind of glow. And it. Out of here, toad. Stupid image. It rapidly swims through. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hops out, and then hops over.
Hop, hop.
And as it hops, it kind of like hops, like bouncing back and forth, in kind of this erratic manner that makes it a little bit hard to track. And kind of sits there and just kind of like ribbiting loudly next to you, and kind of like you see like all the little pustules on its back kind of like pulsing a little bit.
Lick it. Lick it.
Wadumu shrieks, and he says, "No, no, 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 no!" and runs this way.
No, 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 no.
It like leaves.
He's out. They're like, peace, I'm out.
Smart.
Double move. That's as far as he can go.
I'm sure it's a healthy puss.
Wait, I just want to make sure it is actually your turn. Yeah. Baz. As Grung's beside you. Looks pretty hurt. You're muted.
He's going to eat it.
Go.
Okay. I'm going to take a big old swing at the Grung, and I'll attempt to knock it out.
Okay. Hit's a hit. Wow.
Oh, I did 1 hit point. Jesus. But yeah, that was a non-lethal attack.
The Grung, as you smack it in the head, kind of lets out this like gurgle, like falls down, face first in the water.
Can I tell how shallow this pond is?
No, because well, I mean, sort of, because you saw them standing in the water, and they're short creatures, so it's like up to their waist, so it's like 3-4 feet, perhaps, at most.
Then I'm going to go ahead and
Probably
enter
less. Okay.
and engage with Grung number 4.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Grung number 3 says something in a Ribbity language. Aelin, you do make out the word Wadumu. And he moves past you and attacks Wadumu.
Oh, what a piece of shit.
Critical hit.
Oh,
Is it? Hold on. Fantasy Grounds. Yes, it is a critical hit. It's a good thing he's immune to poison. Wadumu takes double damage, gets skewered, and Wadumu shrieks and collapses with the dagger in his belly.
Didn't even get to use his shiny new dagger.
Next turn. Gerald.
Okay. So the command I gave him last time no longer applies, I guess.
No, he would just continue to do follow me,
I
right?
told him to help Baz.
I followed for him to help you, like, because the help action has to be, like, on a certain specific dude. But there's somebody in that, so, like, he can't help, basically. So would he still try, or would he default? That's my question, I guess.
I mean, he's your dude. What do you think?
I don't know. If the order was help Baz, my assumption would be
okay. I paraphrased. It would be it specifically was use the help action to help Baz on this, and the help action is on a specific creature. So I don't know like how specific.
I don't know. It's up to Corey, but my reading of that would be go up next to Baz and use the help action on whatever he's checking.
I mean, literally, there's no such thing as a help action when you give a command. Like, you can't be like, take the help action in world, right? So you're saying help Baz, he's going to go up and help Baz. You can interpret that mechanically as using the help action or attacking or whatever. But you're telling him to help Baz, I assume that, unless the command you gave him was, go up there and distract that Grung so that Baz can hit him better. But if you said help Baz, that's what I mean. If you give a command, then you have to be more specific in what you actually say to him then. Because I just assumed when you said help Baz, you're just helping him with whatever he's doing.
yeah, like I guess from my perspective, it was like, well, I guess I'm just gonna say this and I know how I'm interpreting it instead of being specific. I will just be more specific from now on. So he would double move up to beside Baz, and that would be his turn.
Okay.
Probably north of him.
North of him?
That's
Okay.
closest, yeah.
La 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 la. Whoop, whoop.
And that's it.
Loose splash into the water. Oh yeah, I have to end this turn.
Sorry.
Grung number 1. Which one's Grung number 1? Oh, he's unconscious. Blackwind, it is you.
What do I know about this? the glowing, happy-looking frog.
I don't know. You could make a nature check.
What do I? Wow. I'm glad I know. That was a 21.
Nice.
Well, you haven't seen this exact species before. You are, as you examine this creature with a 21, I would say that you think this thing looks extremely frail, although it might be slightly difficult to hit as it's hopping about madly. At least until it stopped. Right now it's just sitting still, but when it was moving. And based on, and now that it's next to you too, you can also feel like it's radiating heat. So it's probably got some sort of like fire resistance.
And it's gonna explode. It's gonna burst, isn't it? Don't get it in your mouth.
Yeah, you don't know any of its specific capabilities with a 21.
Yeah,
you need what is it? It's DC. Oh, maybe you do actually. Hold on.
Does you know what it's called?
Wow.
If it has a fancy name?
If I feel heat from it and it kind of looks very fragile at the same time, I have a feeling this thing's going to kamikaze an area.
What did I write? If it
10 points, gain specific weaknesses and hidden traits.
What's the you've got my document open on knowledge check?
DC 10 plus CR to identify basic traits.
Okay, DC 10 plus C. So if he exceeds by 10, he gets
then he gets specific weaknesses and hidden traits.
Nice. Okay, yeah, that's what I was going for because I couldn't remember if I set the base DC at 10 or 15 plus CR. So I'm like, was it 25 or 20? Now I don't remember, and I couldn't open my document because it was taking so long. So thank you for clarifying that for me. Yeah, so with the 21, you know that these creatures. I mean, you don't know if they have a special name in Chult, but you're going to call them exploding toads.
Explode.
So with a 21, you would know that.
Poppers.
Yeah, when reduced to 0 hit points, these things do in fact explode.
I've seen similar things.
And you know that. Yeah, you've got the hidden traits too. So you know it has selective immunity to fire, which means it's immune to fire, but if it's hit by fire, it can choose to take the damage if it wants to.
And that might probably set it off, I'm guessing.
Explode. Yeah.
It does have a bite that's kind of weak, but decent. And you do know, as a reaction, it can turn an attack that misses it into a hit, or a successful saving throw it makes into a failure.
I love that. That's awesome.
So that it basically, if it gets hit,
chooses
it's trying,
to explode.
it's trying to pop itself. Okay, I think it wants to pop next to us, guys.
So by that I mean it can't make itself explode. It explodes on death, but it can make itself get hit or fail saving throw.
It's going to be an annoying pest, is what it is.
And because of the mad hopping, ranged attacks are at disadvantage against it.
I'm gonna move away from it for now. Into the water. I don't know if the water's any.
It'll take an attack of opportunity against you.
I know.
So,
I figured as much.
you know what? No, it won't.
Okay.
It's going to save its
And
reaction.
I'm going to move Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
Yeah. Onto this guy. Did I do it right?
I don't know.
This one's got to come off yet. So boom, boom.
Which one is it on? I can't tell.
Well, it was on number 1, but I moved it to number 4.
Okay. Number 4. Okay.
And then I give it my glaive with the pointy end.
Yup.
Yeah. Oh, that wasn't good damage.
Oh.
I whack it from around Gerald.
More damage than I've ever done.
Jonah.
So yeah, I tell you guys, you might want to step away from that thing. She's gonna pop like an overdue zit.
The frog's like sitting on the ground, croaking and kind of hissing at you, Jonah. He's like,
Hit me, hit me, hit me.
I like it. My move there.
okay.
I am going to open my ball bearings, and I'm going to put ball bearings around the stinking toad.
So, the ground is muddy. I don't know if ball bearings would do much because you just kind of hit the mud. They wouldn't be sliding, right? It's not like a stone floor to slip on. I think Jonah would realize that. Sorry. Just I just don't think ball bearings work in mud.
Not do that.
I mean, they might hurt to step on, like, you know, when you're walking barefoot on pebbles.
Well, that's what the caltrops are for.
True.
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail your idea, but
I will move here.
it does not bite at you as you run away or run past.
I will drop caltrops.
Okay.
Elsewhere.
Spiky spikes into the mud. The mud isn't thick enough that they would be sunk into the mud, so you can still step on them.
And that's
Okay.
it. Because using the caltrops was my action.
Okay. Blackwind, you can sense that in this square here, something is thrashing under the water, but it's not making a lot of noise. You can just see like ripples, but you can't see anything because the water is like literally like brown with mud. But there's something in that square right there.
Something brushed my leg.
Grung number 2 dips his hand underneath the water, fiddles with something, and then what? No, he doesn't stop right there. He rushes around the altar, goes up here, and stops in that square. Last turn. Grung number 4, he reaches down in the water at his feet, fiddles with something, and then takes a standing leap and tries to land right here. Baz, you can take a swing at him. Technically, Gerald can too.
Woo!
He's trying to get
Sure.
the hell out of there. He just does a standing leap. He ducks down, fiddles with something under the water, and then leaps over you guys.
And I will do so non-lethally.
Gerald's just punching.
Can you specify with the opportunity attack it's non-lethal?
I mean, yeah, anytime you do damage.
Is it any
you
time?
specify it.
It's not anytime you take the attack action.
That's
No.
Let
Okay.
me double check,
attack.
but I think it's
I'm pretty
anytime you do damage
Yeah.
from a
Well-
melee attack.
From a melee. Yeah, okay.
That's not a crit.
Right.
Nope, doesn't matter. It can be a crit.
Okay.
I think we read it just the other week there, didn't we?
Yeah.
Didn't mention. Wow.
oh, I can reroll that.
Thankfully.
Ooh,
I actually can this time.
nice.
So heal him for 3.
Why did you roll these?
What is going on here?
What the hell?
Gerald hit and did damage
Baz is
as
hit.
well.
Oh.
So
Okay, what's... Oh,
What?
oh, so Baz hasn't re-rolled yet. Okay. I was like, why'd you
No.
roll a d6?
I
Okay.
apologize.
I want to wait until you said, okay, I've healed him for 3.
Oh, I
So
can do
he-
that anytime.
Yeah.
So he would take...
Baz's hit puts him at unconscious.
Yeah, but Gerald's hit kills him.
Gerald's hit.
Whatever.
Because Gerald can't... You didn't give a command to do non-lethal, right?
Nope. He thinks he's helping Baz by punching his MFer.
So Baz hits him, and Gerald also kills him.
What?
Baz is like, well, I tried.
Sorry.
Like-
And then he lands next to me.
Not in my house.
Yeah, his body just like hits the ground.
I said not to kill him.
Just to reiterate, when an attacker reduces a creature to 0 hit points with a melee attack, the attacker can knock the creature out. The attacker can make this choice the instant the damage is dealt. The creature falls unconscious and is stable. And that's
Oh,
it.
so you don't even have to declare in advance.
Nope.
No.
Oh.
It's as soon as you make the damage.
Okay, cool.
I think it's
Aelin,
more
you've
sense
just
than
seen this
story.
Grung stab and maybe kill Wadumu.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn back to the party and I yell, Waduma's down. Is there anybody that can help him? I need you over here right now. And I'm gonna lay into this guy.
Okay.
Fuck.
Oh,
And bonus action.
Come on.
That did it.
Here you go.
yeah, got him. Good enough? I don't know. Oh, not quite.
No.
He looks pretty bad though. Archie, this frog is looking at you.
Kill me. Kill me. Kill me.
Disengage and come on, grab my run my full rundown.
I said yes. Okay.
And then what am I gonna tell? What am I gonna tell Gerald? I am gonna tell him to
Take the exploder.
attack anyone within any enemies within
Ha.
10 feet.
Okay. And enemies within, 10 feet
10 feet of me. Yep,
of you. Okay.
of me. For now, yeah.
Okay.
Protect me, baby. That's. I don't like that exploding tail. That's terrifying. Come on, you can do it. There we go.
Protect me, Squire.
Boing! Lands on the caltrops. What do they do?
They do 1 point of damage.
Okay. Is it a save?
And I think it makes it.
Is it a save?
They must succeed on a DC 15 Dexterity save, or
he
stop
uses
moving this turn and take 1 piercing damage.
he uses his reaction to fail that save, hits the caltrops, and explodes.
One health. Oh my god.
A
I'm up to
creature
my
moving
knee-
through the area at half speed doesn't have to make the save.
Yeah, it literally looks like with glee in its eyes, like this crazy look in his eyes, and leaps on the spikes.
Sweet release.
Wow.
10
I'm up to
foot
my knees in the kiddie
radius.
pool.
So a 10-foot radius must make a DC 11 dexterity save. So Blackwind, that Grung that's unconscious on the ground dies. He auto fails the save.
Sure.
Gerald will need to make it as well. I guess I can target. What am I doing? So target Blackwind. Target you. That Grung is just out, right? Yeah.
It's right out.
Okay.
So standing knee deep in a kiddie pool doesn't protect me from an explosion?
Why is it? Oh, it's not a. They didn't set it up right. Okay, can you guys just make dexterity checks for yourself? Or dexterity saves for you and
I'm
Gerald.
gonna inspiration it
Gerald does better.
myself.
Okay, Gerald fails.
Yay!
Well
Nice.
done. Another.
I rolled good on both of them, but I
Man.
figured I could use an advantage.
Half unsuccess. Okay.
I don't like being blown up.
Oh, buddy.
Okay, so exploding toad number 3 explodes, so he's gone. And Blackwind will take half damage. So Blackwind takes. I rolled pretty shit actually. You take 4 points of fire damage. So that just comes off of your temporary. Gerald
ducked
will
in the
take
water.
the full 8 points of fire damage. And the Grung that's unconscious will take the full 8 and die. Also, so it explodes in this 10-foot sphere of fire. You kind of duck Blackwind and kind of like shield yourself from the brunt of it. Gerald just kind of like looks at it. Something in the water as the fire hits the water, there's like this billows like of steam. Something in the water also gets hit, and there's another chain reaction explosion.
Oh shit!
Oh no,
That's awesome.
Gerald.
So
Wow.
I need
Yeah,
Blackwind,
no.
Gerald, Baz, Jonah, and the Grung all need to make a dexterity saving throw.
I love it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, please roll terribly again. Gerald's going down.
How'd you do that? That's crazy.
I don't know. That's why I'm laughing. I'm like,
Christ.
this is like,
Yeah,
I can't-
Blackwind's dice are on fire today.
Fire. That's like 6 or 7.
that is
A couple like doubles in a row too.
other than the tracking. I think everything's been pretty decent. I've had a couple of rows, but
Grung number 2 needs a dex save.
and sneaking. Sneaking's been bad for me as well.
Okay, so Gerald succeeds, Blackwind succeeds, Baz saves, or fails, not saves. Jonah succeeds, barely, and the Grung succeeds. So everyone but Baz. Oops.
I was in the process of dodging the last one, I guess. I just kind of went with it. Just go limp.
That goes. Oh, good thing that explosion didn't hit me.
Boom.
Okay.
I sank your battleship.
I'll do Baz first, and the rest of you can extrapolate from there the damage you'll take. Where's Baz on the freaking combat tracker?
He's number 1.
Oh, he's at the top. I was looking down at the bottom. I just assumed he was slower. So Baz, taking the full brunt of that secondary explosion, takes 14 fire damage.
Oof.
Oh, Gerald is down.
Gerald, unfortunately, takes 7, which
Oh.
knocks him out. Gerald kind of breaks apart into rocks. And
His little blue lights flicker, and he.
Blackwind
So-
will take 7, so that's the rest of your temporary, and then 3
two
actual
more.
wounds. Oh,
Nope,
2
2 more.
actual wounds. Yeah, I can't do math apparently.
So I have 6 wounds.
Jonah will take 7, so 11 wounds you're at. Grung
Gerald was
2
so
will
young.
take 7, so he's scorched. And is that it? Miss anyone? No, that's it, right? Yeah. Wadumu.
Come on, buddy. Succeed your third.
Fight for life, man. Fight for your life. Don't go into the light. Sweet
Wadumu
prince.
gurgles on the ground and bleeds further.
Baz.
Baz, you've just been smoked by something. Multiple explosions went off to your left. You're not quite sure what the hell just happened, but it hurt.
Ugh. Goodness gracious. Well, that wasn't nice, but deal with that later. I'm going to move up here and attack Grung number 2 non-lethally.
Someday you'll take one of these guys alive.
Well, Jonah said don't kill them, so I'm trying not to.
Yeah, that's a hit.
The flat of the blade.
How?
Yeah, nice. Maybe.
Just thinking about it.
Thinking about it, yeah, okay. Wham! He is knocked the F out. He collapses into the steaming water.
Plus 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah. And that's my turn.
Okay. Grung number 3 will take a stab at Aelin. Ugh, awful. Misses.
They're awful knives.
Gerald, unfortunately, is non-operational.
He's rubble.
Blackwind, maybe. God, it's
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
why it's Fantasy Grounds is lagging so badly. It's a little frustrating, but
Everybody and their
Blackwind.
dog is playing. Okay, so
You are targeting Gerald, just so you know.
I know. I was just pointing at him. I'm gonna move up on top of the altar for now, and just see what's amongst the stuff on here.
Okay,
Like, investigate it or whatever.
sure. So you're climbing up on the altar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it like how high is it?
Like,
Just above the water?
yeah, just slightly above the water,
Okay.
like a couple feet.
And actually, as a bonus action, I'll use my second tireless I have yet. I think I still have. Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, so tireless in this world. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. That's good. 12.
For the win.
All right.
And yeah, I will just look at what stuff is amongst the crap up here.
Sure. There's a knife and some mushrooms, and looks like a couple vials of that bluish green paste. Or
I drink it.
bluish silver paste.
So
And there's a
let's drink
floating
it.
skeletal mage hand. Or is that gone? I don't.
No, it's still there.
Okay.
All right.
Jonah, you
Jonah's
got
going
slightly
to...
roasted.
Yeah. I imagine I'm like face down in the mud. I guess that would be prone, but no. I will run up to here.
Okay.
And I'll tell Alan I got it, and I will switch out my wands to a wand with a little syringe, and I will jab
Drugs aren't
with
the answer,
Duba,
bud.
Oh no! One.
and
It's an auto crit. 2 death saves. He's gone. I'm just kidding. Okay.
You stab him in the brain.
cast Cure Wounds.
Nice. Okay. Oh, maximum.
Nice.
Well done.
Dumu's eyes flutter open. Or do they? Yes, they do. Do they? Maybe not.
It worked. I didn't kill him.
Do grung eyes flutter? I don't know.
I ask myself
Yeah,
that
but
every day.
probably backwards, bottom lid up.
Ooh. Okay, nice. He looks up at you and he's like, "What Dumu alive? What oh, is that the end of your turn, or?
Oh yeah. Hang in there, buddy.
Grung 2 is unconscious.
Oh,
Oh
crap.
boy, it's about to get real bad over here.
Oh no.
Boing, boing.
They have to get hit, though, or
Come on.
damaged.
It bounces over and then does a leap out of the water at Blackwind.
Is it doing like a
jump?
like it's trying to ram me?
Ah, misses.
Sidestep. Like, all right.
Boing, boing. Rah. Who's standing right next to that cage? Just the last round. Baz?
Who was standing where?
Right next to it, the cage was. Yeah, it was Baz. You were right there. Yeah. Bites at Baz. Arrgh. Miss. I like the one frog that didn't get out of its cage got consumed in the explosion of the other frog. Ah, funny. Okay, Aelin.
I'm gonna attack the Grung. And seeing Jonah bring Wadumu back, I'm gonna attempt to make it non-lethal.
Attempt.
Ah. Falls to the ground.
I've seen these explode. Boy, oh boy. I'm gonna move here.
Okay.
And then I'm going to Aelin sort of like centers himself and then reaches out with his arms kind of in front of him, and there's like a very brief flash of light that goes down his arms, and he's going to use a key point to do patient defense.
Okay.
So I can give myself the dodge effect. Yeah.
Archie.
Archie.
So the Grungs are unconscious, but there's two explodey toads.
Exploders.
Yeah. So she saw it explode before. She just like pats Aelin and goes, "Be safe. I'm running. It's bad." And then she's gonna double run, book it all the way across over the other side.
I'm fine. I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, he's got advantage, don't you?
On deck saves, yeah.
That's her.
You good, bro? Get by.
Wadumu stands up, looks at the Grung, and he's like, "Ah, Wadumu friend stronger than bad Grung." And then he turns and sees the toad, and he's like, "No!" Runs over here.
All makes sense now.
Baz.
Okay. I'm going to attempt to. You said these things are like the size of like a dog.
Yeah, they're like a small dog. Like they're not big. They're tiny. I think they're tiny creatures.
Okay, I'm going to try to pick it up.
That's what I was gonna do too.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick it up, and I'm gonna.
So you need to make a grapple roll to try to grab it.
That's athletics, right?
Catch the greased
Yeah.
pig
Or
without popping it.
Oh, it was on a 20. Come on.
It will use its dex to try to counter that. Whoa! Why did it roll twice?
Advantage? Or
Nope.
disadvantage?
I just double clicked it. Excellent. Yeah. Okay. You snag it. Rah.
Okay, and I'm going to run
Go deep.
and over here and throw it into the woods. And with enough force that hopefully it'll
clear.
hit a tree and explode.
Okay. Make an attack.
Exploding.
Well, okay.
frog.
So technically, you can't throw it the same turn you grappled it. So you grab it and run over there and get ready to throw it.
Action surge.
Action surge.
Yeah.
He runs over. Ah!
He's like, if only I had a surge of energy.
That's
so I
awesome.
could get
Okay,
the
make an
extra
attack
energy."
roll versus tree.
Versus tree.
But yeah, I don't want to hit the first tree like in front of me. I want to like try and like lob
So-
it deep into the woods.
So as I described, this is like thick ass brambles. It's
So
like a
don't stop
wall
in
of
front of the
brambles. It's not like trees that are
Okay.
spaced out. It's like a wall.
Well, okay. And I was able to tell like how big the explosion was, right?
Give me an intelligence check. You weren't really facing that direction when they went off, so.
True.
You'd probably think it was a lot bigger because two of them exploded.
Yeah, there's two explosions like right after each other. Boom, boom. You know, one hit you. You're not 100% sure how big that explosion was.
I'll go 25 feet. Whatever.
Whew.
Okay. And then sorry, just an attack roll or something.
Yeah, AC
I'm
5.
just imagining
It's an
bad
inanimate
stuff.
object, so just seeing if you can hit it.
Oh, come on.
Oh no.
Well, you hit
that's
it
enough.
inanimate.
It's AC 5.
But you
Okay.
almost rolled a 1, though.
All right, roll me. You threw it how far? Yeah, it's a D6 damage. It doesn't matter. It slams into the wall with enough force to do 1 point of damage to it at minimum, and it will explode. The flames literally like in front of your face. You're kind of like, oh. It also hits the big patch of pitch next to it and ignites that too.
We were planning on burning this place down anyway.
So this square is on fire, as is the wall. Essentially,
What a happy little mistake. Except for now, we got to get out of the flaming inferno of
I hadn't already given inspiration. You better believe that.
thorn walls.
Yeah. Inspiration to Brad for throwing the flaming bomb.
I like the entertainment value.
Do it. Oh my god.
all right.
Makes up for the surfing.
So where I put that black line, all of those walls and that square full of pitch is just on fire.
Good thing you weren't standing on that. Oh shit!
God. If I could draw art, I would have drawn that.
Oh, and that toad
Oh,
is
the man throwing
definitely
an exploding
dead.
toad.
Shot putting a little comic of Baz shot putting this little flaming toad into the woods.
He does a little discus
So
spin.
remind me to give Baz inspiration when the comment's over.
Holding it by the legs.
Okay.
Take that, Kermit.
So that was Baz's turn. Very bombastic. The Grung is unconscious. No.
Bombastic.
Bombastic. Gerald is unconscious. Well,
Sweet
he's
Gerald,
not
he was
unconscious.
so young.
He's toast. Black. Okay. Fucking.
Gerald is rubble.
Blackwin, there's a toad hopping out of the water, snapping at you.
Feebly.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
just saw what Baz did.
Well, I'm above it right now, I think. Are I not?
Not high enough to
Really?
give you advantage.
Yeah.
Well, no, I just didn't think I'd be able to grab it. That's all.
Probably not. You'd have to probably hop off to
Like,
grab it, or
yeah,
drop
like-
prone in your square and grab it, like drop
Like
onto
a
your
baby.
belly.
Yeah. Well, I just ignore it and I just I go over to here. I do have like the javelins that are in like a little sling on the side. I could just reach down with one hand and grab one, right? Like they're easy to get at.
Oh yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
like
You, an object interaction can do
Yeah.
that. So
So I'm not even sure if I'm far enough away, but yeah. I guess I could also move my. I don't need it actually. Never mind. If I hit it, it's gonna pop.
okay.
Spoon. Nope.
Yep. Boom. That unconscious Grung is totally dead.
I don't know how.
I
We
like
didn't really need them anyways.
their downfall is their own exploding toads.
I tried.
The altar as well, as when it explodes, the items on the altar, the two vials, they pop and crack, and it just chars the whole top of it.
Ah well, I wasn't too concerned with performance-enhancing drugs that might make me explode anyway.
All right, we will we will drop out of initiative order as all threats are neutralized one way or the other.
Will the
Vaz,
javelin be salvageable? Actually, just as a question, after an explosion.
I want to see how much damage this actually did. Javelin. No, I think that javelin's toast.
Okay, it's blown to kingdom come.
Yeah, it's like a charred cinder of a stick with like a little like. Yeah, it's not salvageable.
You could maybe salvage the point of it to make a new one, but
If you could find it in the mud wherever it is.
I think the tip is the javelin.
So yeah, the fire over here is kind of sputtering. It doesn't seem to be spreading. If anything, it seems to be dying down because it's pretty damp and wet in here. It doesn't look like it's gonna like be a wildfire or anything. So it doesn't look like any immediate danger from the fire.
The big mushrooms you talked about, are they in this area, or was that like back in a previous?
There are some mushrooms in here. Most of the mushrooms you saw were out in those like reeds on the way in.
Okay.
But there are some in here as well.
Are any of the ones in here, or the big ones, because she like described the fungi, right? Of what Wanderlust was made of. Does it look like it's these little ones or the big ones?
Well, they're all the same species.
Okay.
All the mushrooms. Yeah, there's big ones and little ones and everything, but they all look to be the same species of mushroom.
Okay.
Did the toad that was on the
collect them.
altar differ from the exploding toads?
It was dead.
It looked like I don't know how good of a view you would have got of it. No, I described the color. Yeah, it looked like it was like a dead one of these that hadn't exploded. So maybe the Grungs had a way of killing them without them exploding.
Sure.
I did mage hand the frog into the water area, so it might still be there. It wasn't caught in the explosion. It would have
Or
been
it might have
flung more.
exploded.
Would it have been flung more? You said you swiped it off. You didn't say you
Well,
picked
right,
it up and
but my
threw it.
action is going, so the mage hand would have went straight up and swiped right to left.
And then it hits the ground, D4 damage.
It's right-handed.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's somewhere in the charred pool. Somewhere.
Well, we can spend some time looking for it.
It's in the slurry of
Yeah, it would have only
frog
been
soup?
5 feet off the altar at most, so it still would have been caught in the blast. Unless the altar would have protected the northern side.
Not really. The
Because it
explosion kind
didn't
of.
pick it up and throw it, it just like swiped it off, right? So it would have been in that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to run up to Baz and say that was awesome.
Thank you. Are you okay?
Oh yeah, just a little little burnt, and
No.
it would have been a lot worse if you hadn't yeeted that frog
What's a yeet?
to the motion.
Oh,
It's a gnomish word that
hail.
means to throw with great frenzy.
yeah.
oh wow.
The Hail Mary.
I've never heard that before, but I'm glad that I yeeted.
I like the idea
yeet.
that yeet is a gnomish word. Anyways.
I know that you said not to kill these things. I tried to just knock them out, but unfortunately with explosions and
Yeah.
such, it wasn't really. But it seems like this one here is knocked out.
True. Maybe we should tie him up. What do you think, Galen? Do you want to use rope? Tie him up? I just don't want him to hurt us or hurt himself when he becomes conscious.
What's your plan for him?
Oh, well, I figured I'd just hand him back to Wendumu. I mean, he can also tell us what's going on, but I just didn't think it was right for us to just kill them all just because some leader told them to go do something and they were just doing it.
Technically, they blowed themselves up mostly from their own weapons. So,
Well, sure. I'll tie him up, and I'll take out some of my rope, and I'll tie him up.
Okay.
I was like,
Good idea.
Wadumu, would you like to maybe talk to this gentleman and ask him if he knows anything more about this operation and what we could do to put an end to it?
Wadumu's like, kind of looks at him. He's like, "Bad Grug should kill him now."
are they possessed like the leader was?
Yeah, but not
He's
all.
Yes.
Can he be a good Grung? Isn't
Like-
that what you want to be? Don't you want to be a chieftain and a leader? Don't you have to take bad Grungs and turn them into good Grungs?
And he kind of gives that a little bit of thought. He's like,
Isn't that what one would want to do?
Baz, can you give me a dexterity check, please? Sleight of hand if you're proficient when you're tying the rope.
Not proficient.
Okay. You deftly tie him up with no issues.
It's like when you tie up a ham. He's got that skill set.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember, when you're tying up the toads, you don't want to touch them.
So nice.
I love it.
Looks so tasty.
they
Yeah,
got that
Wadumu
really
seems like
hungry.
lost in thought, and he's like, bad grungs. Deal with Splody Toad. No good. No good.
Are explodey toads normal?
He looks at you
Or
like, what?
Or is that new? Is that something new that came with the change in your gods, their gods?
He's like,
Or
he doesn't seem to understand what you're saying. He's like, gods? What?
well, didn't their leader get mind controlled to start worshiping something else or whatever? The Yanti?
He doesn't seem to know what you mean by mind control.
Have to have brain. No, they have to have
It
the
was
same
mind
word.
control. I would interject.
Well, definitely influenced, anyways. But did they
Yeah,
always
they
have
had a-
explodey toads?
He's like,
Or
Splody
this
Toad
something
bad,
new?
very dangerous. Can't keep Splody Toad around. Village goes boom that way.
So that's a new.
Or maybe they grew them here or something. Away from the village.
Well, they definitely seem to come out of the water. Maybe I'll search around the pool while they.
Sure. See if you can
The
find
brackish
anything.
pool. some frog legs.
I'm going to see if I can make anything out of the charred altar.
Okay, so you and Blackwind both give me investigation checks. Blackwind searching around, kicking through the water, see if we can find anything, and Archie, see if you can discern anything.
Found some body
Nice.
parts.
Nice rolls. Good job, guys. Archie, it looks like there was a letter of some sort on an altar, but there's nothing but ash left of it now. There's 2 vials that have also popped. There's just like remains of like melted glass, and the kind of like it looks like the kind of liquidy sludge that you saw in the raptor pen, just kind of like charred and burnt and just kind of on top. And then other than that, there is looks like a pair of like actually rather delicate looking, like almost like surgical implements. They look like they're also charred. The wooden handles are kind of like like burned, but yeah, there looks like there's like almost like a scalpel and like some tweezers. It looks like. But otherwise, everything on the altar has been destroyed utterly by the explosions.
There's
Would
enough
Oh,
to
sorry.
get them in.
That is a total lie. There is one other thing that's very important. Can't forget this. There is a seemingly untouched, although still glowing slightly with heat. A kind of like a half moon. It looks like a half of a medallion, a kind of a silvery medallion.
I will
How big is it?
mage. I'll use my mage hand to pick it up
Okay.
and just look at it. Kind of just go.
Yeah,
Kinda cool
it's like a half circle, like a half moon, with like a small like notch cut out of like the straight edge on it.
Does it look like it would fit in the artifact setting that the Oracle Eye was in?
It looks like it's the right size. If it looks like it's like one half of of a full moon, but it looks like it would fit in like half of that setting. Yes.
Cool. Most of the stuff is burnt, but I tell them I found a medallion that looks like the other half, if put together, might fit the piece we have. Wood. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, Blackwind, while you're kicking around in the pond, you do locate pretty easily. Well, at least in, well, maybe not. Yeah, you locate the charred remains of like 4 wooden cages that were just under the surface of the waters. You're kind of kicking through, but they've been like blowed apart and burned. And the water, like from the explosions of the toads, because they were all within like 10 feet of the altar. Other than that, there's nothing of note in the water that you were able to find.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I saw the potions. I didn't see the letter when I jumped up there, unfortunately.
Would Archie be smart enough to put together that they were using some sort of excretion or something from these exploding toads, and that's what was causing it to explode? Given the physical tools and the dissected frog we saw?
Would Jonah?
I mean, sure, if that's the conclusion you guys think you come to, I think that's perfectly reasonable to assume.
That's what I would assume as well.
Yeah.
So essentially, just to step back from that comment for a moment, what I mean by that is, I'm not.
It's just speculation.
It's sort of and sort of not. Like, it's a tough question to answer, because sometimes when players say like, "Oh, this is my theory," does my character think I'm right? Like, that's a tough question to answer because you determine what your character thinks.
Right, but my character is smarter than I am. So I guess my question is there anything that like contradicts that theory that she would pick out? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's a better way to say it. Yeah. Is there anything that would make Archie think this isn't correct? Is probably an easier way, because that way I'm not saying yes, your theory is correct. What I'm saying is you don't see anything that would contradict what you just said. You know what I mean? Because it kind of leaves it open to me, not as a DM, not just saying yes, you are right, that's the answer.
Yeah.
But it's you don't see anything that would prove that wrong is easier, because that means there could be information that does prove it wrong. It's just not here. Yeah. Kind of leaves it a bit more open-ended. You know what I mean?
It's like there was a letter that
she has is this a theory that she may, that she's smart enough to put connections together that I might not be, or see contradictions that I might not see.
Right.
Sort of thing,
And that's exactly. And that's kind of like, as long as you don't take my yes or no's as absolutes, it's kind of like based on the current evidence in front of you, there's nothing that proves it wrong.
Yeah, like there's nothing that contradicts her theory currently.
Yeah. So and that's what I mean by it's perfectly reasonable for you to assume that. Yes.
There's nothing left of that letter to mend back together at all. It's just
I can mend it into paper, but no writing is going to be on it.
Yeah, it's ash. I don't think it's even mendable. It's done.
No, it's like poofed.
You'd have to transmute it back into paper and then mend it. It's like literally ash right now.
You try turning it into ink, Blackwind.
Maybe
real metal.
A magical tattoo that recreates the original letter.
That is what your basic ink is going to be, but
it's just a pen pal. It's nothing. It's like, shit. All the
just like the Tasha's, you just touch the needle to your leg and it goes on.
Poof.
Well, no, you hold it for an hour.
I would say, however, that there is, I mean, you guys are searching around. The grung that's unconscious that you've tied up, you would notice does have a small pouch on him, which you can search if you like.
Sure, yeah.
They have pouches? Ooh.
Yeah, I'd search the other ones as well after I'm done with the altar.
Okay. There's only a handful of coins. There are 5 gold pieces, as well as 2 of those strange mithril pieces that. Who has that, Jonah?
I have it, yeah.
Yeah.
The Mythal
And just FYI, just so you know where to put that on your character sheet, you'll notice in your coin section there is a 6th coin that I've labeled OMP.
Archie
Or maybe
would like
you
to...
don't see that.
I do not see
mine's
that.
blank. Yeah.
Okay, I guess it doesn't do it until you actually get one. So,
Archie would like to take a look at one of those and see if she can make out anything on it.
I don't even know if we knew about the other one, right? Because
Are these in better shape? Can we make out the features?
these are also look very old and worn as well. Close examination might be able to take, like with a
That's
magnifying glass, might be
exactly-
able to.
Exactly what it...
There is also something. Where is it? There's also a small jade ring in a simple setting in the pouch as well. It doesn't have any markings or anything on it, but
I would point that out to Aelin.
Was a pouch of what?
I'd point out that I found a small ring of jade in a simple setting. I know that you know about jewels and gems, and maybe an interesting ring you might be able to discern something, or maybe it's just a ring and that's all.
Yeah. No, thank you. Immediately, I know the value of the gem, but that's... If I want to know more, I probably have to do more thorough investigation.
If it's more than 100 years old, I can determine its monetary value if it is an art object, quote unquote.
it's only 99 years old.
Ooh,
Damn it.
right on the cusp.
Next year, I will know.
And like I say, it only counts if it's considered an art object and not other.
I'm also
Okay.
checking out the mushrooms where I can. I want to know more about them myself.
sure. So I put the half moon on Archie's sheet. I put the jade ring on Aelin's. You would know, looking at it, that this ring would be worth 20 gold pieces. Not because of the setting, literally the gem. The setting is looks like worthless, like 10, but the gem itself would be worth 20. You don't imagine you get anything else for it as an art object. So whether or not you want to just pop it out of the setting is up to you, but it's worth 20.
Make your own setting out of a gold piece.
So that's frustrating. I can't, because there's only 2 of them. I can't distribute them. So who wants to hold on to the 2 mithril pieces? Where should I put them? Just so they don't sit
I
on the
want
party
to
sheet.
look at one. I don't necessarily have to hang on to it. She just wants to have a look.
I think antique things right now are, I mean, until we know more about them, maybe you can examine them
Yeah, give them both to
for now.
Archie.
Give
There
them to
we
the
go.
archaeologist to have a look at.
Yeah.
Oh, see, it did it for you. When
I have one
dropped,
now.
yeah. So when I dropped it onto your character sheet, it created an entry for it. So
Okay.
I had already set it up when I set up the settings I added an additional coinage that outside of the normal 5. So I'd already set that there was this extra like mithril piece. So OMP is like old mithril piece. So Jonah should have 1, and Archie should now have 2, I suppose, unless you want to give one to someone else.
This is the old special currency to buy special items.
But yeah, I would like to examine the pieces closely and see if I can discern anything from them. Anything in the pictures, or if it like linked to anything we've heard.
Okay, how much time are you going to spend on this?
That's a good point. I will wait to do that until we get back.
Okay.
I'll,
I just wasn't sure if you were like busting out the magnifying glass right here in the swamp. Or...
No, that's fair. It's fair. I'll do it later.
There doesn't seem to be anything else like of value anywhere that wasn't destroyed already. The Grung is probably just because you've been here a few minutes looking at things, and the Grung would probably be like, actually no, he's out for an hour unless you somehow wake him up. So
I would ask Wadumu to come over here and they'll try to wake him up with slapping him, pouring water.
Sweet whispers.
Right before the hat, I would have gone over to Wadua and just ask what he thinks is the best way to destroy this place.
He kind of looks around. He's like, He's like, well, we kill Grung, we burn altar, that good.
What about the mushrooms?
And he kind of looks around at some of the mushrooms. He's like,
point at him.
a lot of mushroom. He's like, maybe we gather and burn in pile? But then he kind of thinks, he's like, mushroom grow underground, may grow back.
Mushrooms are hard to get rid of, notoriously.
Oh, every minute I can upturn 5 feet of soil.
Wow, that would take you a few days to clear this all out. Well, not really. It's not. Well, it's actually it's pretty big.
Filling up the soil.
I think it's 5 feet every minute. I believe. Yeah, 5 foot cube.
I'd say I'm going to collect a sample.
It's a few hours worth of work
of some of the mushrooms, and then
sure.
Yeah.
Maybe we seal the entrance.
The entrance itself is a dangerous thing.
Yeah, actually, what Dumu, when you say that, maybe we seal the entrance. With Duma's like, yeah, and then he's like, but
I could pile it full of dirt, but somebody can dig through again.
And then get poisoned. Because they wouldn't be moving slowly.
Wadumu kind of shrugs. He's like, Wadumu, no answer.
It's all right.
And then he kind of like walks over to Jonah, who like gestured.
Do we have any oil?
I'm gonna sit down and start ritual casting Tensor's floating disc.
Okay.
Does anybody have any lamp oil?
Yes.
I'll pour it on where the mushrooms were and light it. I mean, it's the best thing we can do, I guess, for now.
I mean, the mushrooms are all over this place.
Oh, okay.
They're not like in the one cluster. They're like literally everywhere.
I thought there was only a couple of clusters, but all right. Yeah, never mind.
I think burning. I mean, I could every 6
Scorched
seconds
earth.
burn 5 feet. Me and Jonah can do that without fire.
While you guys are dealing with the Grung, I'm just gonna take a torch and start burning whatever. Even if the mushrooms grow back, at least these ones will be not here.
Can you also bring back one? I'd like to study.
Yeah,
I'm gathering some.
I will assist Aelin with that task.
Okay. So, Blackwind's gathering some. So you can just write down that you have some of these. You just call them just call them like wanderlust mushrooms. However many you want to take. They're some of them are pretty large, so I would say every mushroom is like a 0.1 weight, so you can gather a fair bit. So however much you want to gather, it's up to you.
I'll gather 2 mushrooms for now. Just
okay.
Where to go? Oh, there.
And so Baz and Aelin are wandering around with torches. Archie is casting Tensor's Disc, so Jonah and you called Wadumu over. Sorry, what did you call him over for?
Because I'm waking up the Grung. I'd like him to talk to him,
Okay.
figure out what they were doing.
How do you wake the Grung? He's unconscious right now.
I will pour some of my water over his face.
Okay. The Grung
He
kind
drowns.
of.
No, I will use whatever. I was carrying my pitch in because it was very stinky. And I'll put it under his nose.
Oh, he kind of like sniffs. He's like,
Smelling salts.
Makes him smile.
and
What?
sees you, hisses, and then immediately goes to like lunge at you, and then realizes he's tied up. He's like, and then he kind of like shrieks. Wadumu turns to you, and he's like, Bagrung, angry bout rope.
Because he's a bad Grung.
And then he points at him and says something in Grung. He's like, blah, blah. And the Grung kind of like gets his like look on his face, kind of sits down like in this sullen position.
Oh, see, turning into a leader already.
And he looks at his skin. He's like, blue, no.
I think so. I think a little bit. Maybe it's just the light, but I think it's turning a little bit blue. But
he is your people, so
He points at the like yellowish skin of this Grung, and he's like, wildling. And then he kind of points down. He's like, low. And he kind of like
Status?
searching for the room. He's like, and he points at you. He's like, low status.
so
you
Keon.
ask him what he was doing here.
He turns, blah, blah, blah. And the other one's like, bang, blah. And he turns back to you and he's like, he say Snake Lady sent to mix mushroom with frog juice.
Do they know what they were going to do with it?
He turns and asks him, blah, blah, blah. The guy turns, blah, 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 blah. And he turns back to you and he says, he's like, stupid bad Grung, know nothing. He's stupid, he bad.
Well,
And he pulls out this dagger. He's like, we kill now?
do you think that's what we should do?
He's like, wildling, bad, stupid, useless. Might as well. Kind
Is
of
that what a good leader would do?
Kind of steps forward with the dagger. He turns back and he's like, that what Grung leader would do.
Dare to be different, but I have no idea what happens in Grung culture. So
True, but I just feel that if you want to be a good leader, that you should help those who have different views than you, thoughts than you. Even if it's bad, if you want to be a good leader, you should try to make them good. Do you think you could do that?
I do actually back you up on these points, actually, Jonah.
He's
You
like,
don't have to be what your ancestors and your preconceived
and
ideals.
he kind of looks like he's thinking of it, and he's like, maybe if Wadumu act good, port peoples like Wadumu?
Maybe. We like you. That's a start, right?
He's like, you like me if don't kill Bad Grung.
I like you whether you kill Bad Grung or not, but I
And
think
he's like,
I would-
then kill Bad Grung!
But we
if that's what you think is the best, I'm not going to stop you, but
will it
I
make
don't
other
like
Grung.
killing other creatures, even if low society or high society. I think if they can think, if they can make a choice, they can. Even if they're bad now, they might be good later.
If there's a chance that they can reconcile, and maybe you can bring them back to your way. Jonah is right nuts.
He's like, and he kind of like nods. He's like, you wise. Wadumu take advice. He's like, we let go. And he kind of reaches down and unties the knots. He's like, you. Yeah, and he goes, blah, 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 blah. And the one's like, blah, blah, blah. And the other guy's like, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, blah.
Picks up a knife.
I
tries
think
to
we should
stab
have more
him.
grungs in the campaign from now on.
And then he points at the entrance and then he points at the water and he shakes his head like this is Wadumu. And the other guy's like, the other one nods. He's like, oh, never. And then he turns and he says, he promised not to work for Snake Lady anymore.
That's a
Does-
start.
Oh, does he know anything more about the Snake Lady? Does the Snake Lady have a name?
You already know that, I think.
Oh, okay. Is it the same Snake Lady?
Mm.
So that's the god?
Her name was
Well, it's
This
on
is
the
the Venom Queen.
Shaskatar, the Venom Queen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he would confirm that essentially through Wadumu.
I think it calls over her shoulder.
So
I
unless you guys are going to detain him or interrogate him, Wadumu's going to let him go and it's kind of like pointed for him to leave.
Yeah.
Oh man, I hope he gets hit by the vines on the way out.
I think he knows how
Grungs
to
are immune to
cover.
poison.
Oh right.
Makes a pretty good defensive when you have people coming and going that are immune to your defenses.
Fair enough.
So, do you guys want to stop him? Because he's going to slowly make his way towards the entrance, kind of keeping his eye warily on you.
Let's go.
So
Alright.
there maybe is a reformed Grung, or maybe a thorn in our side later.
I would
Speaking
say
of thorns in our sides,
while I'm in the middle of torching or attempting to torch mushrooms, I would turn to Wadumu and say, that was very good. I think you'll make a fine leader.
Kind of looks down at his skin.
Doesn't happen overnight. Take some time.
And he kind of shakes his head. He's like, no, I've seen it happen overnight.
Well, let's try it this morning.
Maybe tomorrow morning.
Maybe tomorrow morning.
And then he kind of like, his eyes kind of perk up and he's like, oh,
Maybe.
we want back before dark. We
Yeah,
better
we
get
must.
going.
Yes,
We
better.
best get hopping.
Yeah, let's just probably around the time that their conversation ended. I don't know how much of this we've torched, but
I mean,
probably
based on your rate of torching, and they don't burn easily, it's like so damp and wet in here. They kind of sputter quite a bit, start smoking, and then slowly light and burn and shrivel. To burn it this way, like firebolt may be faster for sure. And by the way, I think around this time your tensor's disc probably pops up. What does your tensor's disc look like?
My tensor disc looks like a piece of floor from like a really old building. So like a stone sort of tiled, carved piece of like floor that's looks like it's been like grabbed and like lifted out. So it's still got like earth kind of underneath it. So it's like it's a flat disc, and then it's got golden runes all around the edges that are glowing magical, like holding it aloft, and it's a little shimmering.
Nice, cool. So you have a tensor's disc.
Yeah.
Why?
I was gonna put my golem pieces on it.
Oh, right. So Archie, as people are like just trying to decide what to do with the mushrooms. Also, to go back to the point with torches, you probably like to burn all the mushrooms and then in the other like reed walkway, like to go into the weeds and find them all and burn them all. Like it would probably take you hours upon hours to do it with torches. Like it's not looking like, especially how slow they are to catch. It doesn't look like it's going to be super viable to burn them all. You can burn like the bigger ones, and you have made decent progress in this room. But yeah, if you want to actually thoroughly burn it out, you're gonna need to spend quite a bit of time in here.
just cast Meteor Storm. Can you do that?
No, I can't even fucking fireball yet. Damn it! We got 3 levels to go, and so you better believe I'm taking it.
we can always
Gravity does
maybe
most of the work.
revisit this, or we can let Screaming Wind know that for the time being, at least it's clear, and they can send in people to clean it up and burn it down.
To start a new operation.
Yeah.
That's true.
Or we can talk to the ladies group, the militia.
Well, there's
Yeah,
that,
well,
or the investigator.
when we get back. So
Yeah, the citizens brigade. Maybe the citizens brigade with a Windkin.
Sure.
Yeah.
King.
Or Soggy Ren.
I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything important here before we. So, but you guys start heading out. So without the risk of alerting anybody, Wadumu probably would point your torches at the vines in the kind of passageway leading in.
Yeah, and fireball those two.
Me and Jonah can make quick work of lighting
Yeah.
that up.
Because it's pretty easy to burn your way through there. The kind of reason you didn't do that on the way in because you were trying to be stealthy.
Yeah, we don't want to leave it for the
closer.
The less professionals we're going to send to clean it up. So.
Yeah.
I mean, our fireball has a range of 120 feet, so we can burn 10 feet of it together every 6 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys can easily torch all those little vines on your way out. I'm just double checking if there's anything that I missed because I would hate to miss something important in here.
I'm taking another look around and stuff to make sure we didn't miss anything important either.
Yeah.
There's no carvings or anything on the altar, right?
No, it was just like this slab of stone, essentially. Just it looked like it may. I mean, it looks really old, but it doesn't have any carvings of any sort. There's no symbology on it. So whether it was part of a larger structure at one point, you don't see anything else that remotely looks like it in the area.
I want to be sure there's no identifying marks of where it might have come from or anything.
No, unfortunately. Okay, so yeah, I don't have any. Yeah, so yeah, if you guys are gonna head out, then, it doesn't take you long to head out of here and gather up the bits of Gerald, the brave golem who got blowed up by explodey toads.
Explodey toadies.
When you come out, it's probably close to 5 now, just after 5:15 maybe. So there's still daylight, but it is getting late in the day. Sun usually goes down 6:30 ish. So you probably got an hour and a bit of daylight left. But as you come out to make your way down, Ciela is still there. She's on her feet as you approach. And
she mentioned Saurons earlier too, like bodies. Would she still be able to point them out, or I just wanted to see if I could see them if it wasn't off the beaten path too far.
Oh, the decayed ones.
Or yeah, the terror or whatever they were. Were they Saurons or
Tarans?
Terrians? Pterodons?
Terron.
Terrons. Terrar.
None of the above. They are terrafolk.
They're terribles.
But Sauron, if you're familiar with the Marvel character Sauron, that's essentially what they look like.
Like from Lord of the Rings?
No, Marvel character. The pterodactyl man in the Lost World that drains. He's a energy vampire. Anyways, yeah, he's like an energy vampire. He's a scientist, right? But he's an energy vampire. But when he drains too much energy out of people, it causes a evil Jekyll Hyde transformation. And he becomes this vicious pterodactyl man. Anyways,
it doesn't sound like Sauron at all.
Yeah, he crafts rings after that. Gives them to the elves and
big eye on a tower.
Yeah. It's not actually an eye, actually. It's a big flame with him standing in the middle, by the way. The iris is actually him standing there. It just looks like an eye. It's an optical illusion. Get it? Optical. Okay, so, What was happening? Oh, so Ciela. So, yes, so she says that, well, first of all, she asks, what happened? You seem like you've been in a bit of a scuffle.
We got bowed up a bit, but we won.
Yeah, but
right out here.
He's like, so the threat is over. You've dealt with the grove.
For now,
sort of. We made work of the inhabitants of it, but there are still the mushrooms there, but no one is creating any of this blue toxin drug wanderlust stuff. But we weren't really able to destroy all of the mushrooms. I think
There's
that's
a lot of them.
a job for another team, but it should be much safer now.
The Yanti were not on site as far as we saw, so they'd still have them mucking about too. So
She nods. She's like, well, as long as the immediate threat is ended, we can think about what to do with the grove. All right. And she kind of looks. She's like, so, are you heading back to town then? And then, oh, sorry, you asked about the Terra folk. She said that the bodies were quite decayed, and that was several days ago. She said she can. She thinks
plants.
she can lead you, but she points to the dead tabaxi, and she's like, Ashen Rock was our guide, and frankly, he knows. I don't know if I could trace my way back to exactly where those bodies were.
that's all right.
It's getting late
That's
too.
fine.
Yeah.
I like I say, if it wasn't off the beaten path, then maybe. But
So our two options are to head back now and travel through the jungle partway at night, or to bed down up in the grove and try and wait.
It's
think
travel.
Head back.
to the city tonight.
Yeah.
I know that it'll likely be dangerous, but I think it's probably for the best.
Yeah, hopefully as we get closer to city, the dangers will peter out a bit too.
We'll rest better in the city, and we'll be ready to go first thing in the morning.
Sure.
Yep.
I'm mostly just Baz looks pretty rough. That's my main concern about traveling.
Well, see, so you guys remember, you can take a quick rest out in the world here, and do a medicine check, bandage your wounds, and use hit dice if you want. You can do that before you head out. It takes an hour. It does take an hour.
I would rather just get moving.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
it's better to rest
Do
now when
we-
we can see too.
For the tabaxi, Ashen Shock, do you think Ashen Shock would fit on your disc, Archie?
Oh yeah, my disc
you
can
would.
hold a lot.
How much does
My disc, 500 pounds.
How much does the golem weigh? Assuming
Like because he's only dwarf size, we figured he was like a couple of hundred.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could easily stack the dead body with the rocks for sure.
And then the rocks pummel it.
Sure, you can do that. And Ciela is grateful for your assistance bringing her friend back. So Wadumu can lead you back to town so navigating's not really an issue.
The grove was. This is Liz outside. The grove wasn't considered a point of interest.
No, it's not.
Okay.
The Grove, I don't consider a place that is like safe enough to bed down and rest for like a long rest. Like,
I'm talking about like a 10-minute quick rest in a grove allows you, or in a point of interest allows you to heal. So that's why I was just curious.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't consider the Grove a point of interest. It's not.
Okay.
It's not substantial enough. It was like a single room essentially.
Sure, we didn't count the turn, so we don't have any idea what's considered a point of interest.
Yeah, so when you guys are at a point of interest, I will let you know that we're switching gears, so you know.
Okay.
Bear in mind, your characters wouldn't know, and bear in mind also you can't long rest at a point of interest unless you've cleared it out and made it safe, right?
Sure.
So, well, I mean, with some exceptions, if you find a place that's safe at the point of interest, but I didn't consider the Grove a point of interest.
Okay.
All right, so you guys head back. So I assume you guys are doing the same deal.
Do we want to move faster?
I think we.
Yeah, if you move faster,
you lose the light.
If you move faster, you'd move at technically double speed. Well, you'd have a 50% chance of moving at double speed in the jungle. So that would give you a -5 to your perception and navigation.
But since
But technically, you could get back just like you'd only be traveling for like 15 minutes, half an hour in the dark if you move fast
I'd
paced
do
from
that.
now on. It's like
Yeah,
3 hours, so it's only an hour and a half. It's only like 5:15 now. Sun goes down at 6:30.
Sun
Would be getting there at dusk.
I would ask Wadumu, do you think that you'd be able to properly navigate us back to the city if we're traveling at a faster speed?
with Archie, I think he should be able to, no problem.
Yeah,
And
Wadumu would nod and say, Wadumu familiar this land?
I got a
Can
pretty good idea.
can our guests keep up with a high speed though?
If it was all day, probably not. But for like just over an hour, sure.
I will note that we are in 1 hour. We're gonna need to take 10 minutes for me to pop the disc back again.
All the more reason that it go fast.
Sure. But it'll move at our pace, so as fast as we go, it will move
All right.
with us at that pace.
Let's do
Okay.
it.
What's that?
All right. So do you want Wadumu to make the roll, or Archie? Do you want to make the roll with Wadumu assisting you for the navigation?
I mean,
Or me?
Mine-
I got
mine's
plus.
a plus
Or Blackman.
2.
I have plus 4, I think, or let me see. Survival plus 4.
Yeah.
And you don't. You guys don't actually know what Wadumu's bonus is.
I don't know. He's technically really familiar though, so I'd
I'd say
imagine.
leave it with him.
Yeah.
I think role playing wise, I would rely on him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Now you're going back over terrain that you've been on before, so it's. But yeah, okay. So he rolls with advantage. There's no issue navigation wise. So who was
Instead
assisting
of
him?
foraging,
I believe Archie because she's the navigator,
Okay.
Sure.
and I'll
Yeah.
help
Instead of-
keep watch because we're moving fast. So
yeah, instead of foraging this time, I would be keeping watch as well.
Same.
Okay.
I'm off. Watch.
Okay. And Jonah, what about you?
I am walking.
Okay.
I mean, keeping watch too, but not really. I think my mind's wandering.
Okay. Well, you guys wander down. It's a bit easier going down now. The heat started to let off a bit as the sun starts sinking below the horizon. You guys want to? Do you guys want to roll the d4 to see if you make it there in halftime?
come on, navigator.
All right. Just leave
With
Guys,
forward.
advantage.
Yeah, guidance.
So you want a 3 or a 4? Yeah. No.
No.
So moving as quickly as you do, any time you gained with just moving faster, you kind of lost through just like not taking the most optimal trails, essentially. So you move faster, but it doesn't really get you there much faster. So it is night by the time you guys make your way past where the flash flood was, and you keep going past there, while the when the sun sinks behind the horizon, the sounds of like birds and monkeys and things are replaced instead by just like chirping insects, and it's a much quieter journey back down. But it's not long, a couple hours until I guess you have to stop twice to recast.
Yeah.
So that's going to add an extra 20 minutes to the journey.
Yeah.
Stopping every hour. Essentially slows you down by 1/6, right?
Yeah.
To re-up the tensor's disc. But you don't encounter anything dangerous on the way back down. And around 8 or so, you find yourselves exiting the gorge into that just like long grass and into
Feels good.
into the outskirts of Malar's Throat. There is a burning lamp outside of Screaming Wind's house. She's not outside, but there's a burning lamp there. Ciela thanks you guys tremendously. She's like, "Thank you so much. I'm sure I would have died out in the jungle, and thank you again for helping us. I'm going to take his body, if you would accompany me to the temple to see that it is properly interred.
Sure.
I'll go with her definitely because it's on my desk. So
Yeah. Ciela,
I'll go
do you
too.
guys have a leader of the Citizens Brigade?
She kind of she's like, well, yes and no. We're kind of a loose collective of like-minded individuals. We don't have like an official leader, but we do take direction as best we can for the leaders in the community. She kind of points up at the temple, and she's like, what's his name? Olo?
yeah.
Did I get that right? Olo? Underfoot? The
Halfling?
the halfling priest. He helps organize us and as best he can, and provides spiritual guidance. Otherwise, yeah, we all just kind of volunteer and do what we can, pass information to each other.
If they ever want, I will offer some training aspects of that I know for what I do. Maybe that would help them somewhat.
And she kind of says,
Like,
"Well,
from time to time, anyways, not daily. I can offer it here and there, and it can only help the ways of the ranger."
He's like, well, I mean, I don't know who all will might take you up on that, but I appreciate the gesture."
It's out there, proper training.
Go on.
That's how knowing's half the battle. Go, Joe.
Wadumu stays behind at Screaming Wind's place. I don't know who's going to go up to the temple and who's. At this point, the gates you assume would be locked and closed, so there's no getting back in the city.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Should have clapped that tunnel.
I've got him on the list, so I'll go to the temple.
And she'll know how to contact us, I guess, if she ever looks for us, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
so far it's a thunder and lizard.
Yeah, and so she's extremely grateful for your assistance, and you guys bring the body to the temple. Olo takes it, and there's a few priests kind of take the body and put it somewhere. Cold storage,
Roll it in.
Ciela stays at the temple herself as well. That's where she's gonna stay for today, anyways. Get some medical attention from the priests there, and etc. And just kind of debrief them on what happened out in the jungle to her and her compatriot. You guys want to go to Screaming Wind's place then?
Yep. Patch up my wound.
Okay. Screaming Wind will.
As a note, if we want any cure wound casts on anybody, if you don't have enough hit dice to cover, it's $10 at the temple.
I also have one spell rank left, which we can get a long rest tonight, right? So
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I can cast one Cure Light Wounds.
Okay. I'm just saying, if we want to do that instead of, because we're planning on heading out tomorrow, you might not want to use all the hit dice. I know Baz is pretty hurt.
I mean,
So
I got to save up for a dinosaur.
You get half your hit dice back on. So if you use one, you'll get it back automatically. If you use both, you'll only get one back on the rest.
Yeah.
So, but so
you can always do it tomorrow too. I'm just mentioning that the temple has cure wounds for $10.
Yeah, I'll do a cure wounds for $10 at the temple.
I got a freebie
available.
I'm gonna heal myself. That's myself.
No, I know we don't have a lot of money, but
so that's one extra hit point with medicine for me.
excuse me.
Yeah, that's one extra hit point, and it uses one of your hit die, so you'll be full. Your temp hit points go away once you're sleeping.
Yeah. Baz, would you like a 1d8 healing?
Um,
I got one.
Hey, at least I rolled well.
I probably will take it. But
Oops.
Corey, could I do a cure wounds at the temple?
Sure.
There you go. 8 hit points back to you.
Cost you 10 gold. And they will cast Cure Wounds on you. What is it? D8 plus.
Wisdom. Unless they're a healing.
Wisdom is
+7.
Plus 7. He's phenomenal. He's got a wisdom of 38. No, he casts Cure Wounds on you. He will heal you for 7.
maybe 28.
So 4 wounds left. By the time the 2 casts, because Blackwind used his Cure Wounds on you as well. So you got 4 wounds left.
Yep.
Do you still want to use a hit die?
Sure.
You might as well use one. You'll get it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So need a medicine check. There we go.
Nice.
So you get an extra
I think
hit.
that's plus. Is that
I mean, he's-
You
one
get two
he's
hit
good.
dice.
He's going to be full anyways. So
Yeah, you should have done that first.
Yeah. Oh, well.
And I could use a medicine check from somebody.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Nice.
So what is
So, it's,
So-
you get a +1.
Extra hit point.
Extra hit dice. So that was 1, 2, 3.
But isn't it the healing rule? It's a DC 15 and then
A successful medicine check at DC 15 gives a +1 per hit dice used in additional healing. Every 5 points above
Every
the
5
success,
points
an
above.
additional +1 per hit dice healing.
Right. Okay.
So what?
If check is 25 or higher, 1 hit die less when consumed when healing.
So I got 2 extra hit points.
25 or higher basically gives a free heal.
From one.
Like a free hit dice. 25 or higher gives a free hit die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, you use the healing as if you used a hit dice, but doesn't consume the one of the hit dice.
Yeah.
Just one.
Still use the healing kit charge, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Archie, you have 3 wounds, and Jonah has 3 wounds. Do you want to use your second hit die, or no? Essentially, it's do you want to start the next day with full hit points and down a hit dice, or at 3 wounds with both hit dice?
these are what D8s before.
I'm gonna not use it.
Okay.
I'm gonna save it and hope we don't encounter anything tomorrow on our first day of journey. So I'll be able to use it and get it back tomorrow night.
Can we?
I can because the thing is I can always potentially short rest in the in between if I need to.
Yeah,
use.
I don't think I will either. I'll wait.
That's cool. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah, if we're traveling tomorrow, you won't get it back tomorrow.
When I rest.
Nope.
Not during.
You don't get a long
Overland.
rest until we're at a point of interest.
or 7 days.
Yeah.
Which is less than the time to get to the camp, which is a point of interest.
Noted.
So you you guys will. How many healing kit charges? That was 5.
That was
6.
I used.
I used one.
So 5.
I specifically rolled on 3, I believe, myself and
Baz and me.
Baz and.
Okay.
So that was 3 for me.
I see 4 medicine checks from you.
4.
Is it
Right,
4?
because Archie didn't
Oh.
use one, right?
Archie used her own.
Okay,
used her own.
so we didn't have a medicine
Oh,
check for
sorry.
Archie?
Yeah.
You rolled a
counted
3.
Archie's.
Yeah, okay. So you've
Yeah, you're right,
subtracted
Ryan, those 3.
you subtracted the overall 5 charges. Then everybody subtracted 1.
I took the 3 that I rolled just because I was applying it. So
Cool.
that's the way I look at it. If I'm rolling it, I'm using it from my kit. So it's easier
Okay.
to keep track of that way.
So I will apply a long rest, and it should give hit dice back.
Wait a minute. What is this?
What is what?
What is the? So I'm just reading the healing thing. So, under point of interest exploration, it says, what is like the slow natural healing? What is that? It says characters must spend hit dice to heal. During a long rest, HP used to heal is maximum value.
Oh yeah.
When we're
When we
Oh,
long rest at a point of interest, their max value.
okay.
Yeah,
So we
that's
are a
that,
point of
that,
interest.
The
that's
port
that,
is that considered a point of interest?
yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. So Jonah and Archie will be full then, actually.
We can rest like a lot easier than to say we were. Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay, cool. So you guys will start the day fresh. Good.
So did anyone use 2?
No.
Okay. Would you have rather done that instead of spending the 10 gold on the cure? Since you would know how much you'd heal from both of them?
I think he still needed it.
Max, so it would have been enough to heal you to full. You had 19 wounds.
Yeah, probably would have done that.
I was saying you would have had that knowledge
You
before
wouldn't have.
you...
Yeah, but remember, you'll be down 1 hit dice tomorrow if you do that. Even though they're maximized, you're still down a hit dice the next day.
So you'd only get 1 back. So it depends if you want to spend 10 gold and have 2 hit dice tomorrow.
Then no, it's fine.
Okay.
Keep it as is.
All right. So you guys go back to Screaming Wind. She gives you beds for the night. Well, not really beds. You kind of sleep on the floor and stuff. But she gives you blankets and probably not don't need blankets, but like pillows and things to like lie on, so it's not just super uncomfortable. She's got enough room. And you guys didn't forage, so you probably would have eaten. So maybe no, you guys should subtract off a ration, I would think. Because you would have eaten at some point in the 10 hours ish you spent out in the wilderness, because nobody did any foraging for food.
Wait, sorry. With apologies, going back to the healing thing. If Blackwind did cure wounds on me before I went to the temple, and I would have been down 11 hit points, I would have known that
would
max
heal you.
healing would have been up to 13. So I would have only needed 1 hit dice anyway.
Oh, right, because Blackwind cast on you. That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so give yourself the 10 gold back.
You have paid, and you'll have both your hit die in the morning.
All right.
Okay.
Sorry.
I also applied Wicked First Aid to you as well. So
Yeah.
21. So
Cool.
you actually got extra.
So all of you should subtract 1 ration.
Sure.
And then you've subtracted your healer's kit charge, so that's all good. So that's all good. You guys sleep, get your hit dice back, get your resting in. Screaming Wind would obviously, you tell me, but I would assume you would fill her in on what occurred.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is there anything you leave
beat
out?
for beat. No.
No.
No, in
No.
fact, I would ask her to arrange for a return trip with the local militia people.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
There simply wasn't enough time for us to sit there and try to snuff out all the mushrooms or whatever. So
She's like, well, at least you've shut down the Grung operation there. It's too bad we couldn't get any more leads on their Yonti masters, but as long as you shut that down and remove the danger, at least for now, if we can get a brigade together in the next few days and get back out there and take care of it permanently, I'll look into that for sure. And she says, and as promised, you've done a great service, and you've saved Ciela as well, as she asked you to look into, by the way. I don't know if you guys remember that, but she did mention that she had gone out there and had disappeared. So she will give you... I don't want to open the items. Stop, Fantasy Grounds.
That was like one of the main reasons to
of
go.
course we remember that part of the quest.
So she will hand you a pouch of 50 gold pieces as reward. So I'll give that to you. And she says she wishes she could provide more, but that's the most that she has available. But it's a well-earned reward. Hopefully, it does some to alleviate any expenses you may have occurred, as well as give you a little spending cash in the city for your next expedition.
I would probably let her know that we'll be going out for a couple of weeks.
It's tomorrow. Our next expedition.
Just so that we'll be, unavailable for a couple of weeks, but the plan is to come back.
So she would tell you that in the meantime, while you guys are gone, she'll try to organize an expedition back out to the Grove to deal with it permanently now that the Grungs are out of there. In addition, she'll talk to Ren about what you found, unless you're planning on doing that before you leave. But
I don't think we'll see him.
It would be great if she
don't
could. We don't have time.
okay, so she says that she'll take care of it. Now she would ask the half moon amulet. You said that it fits with the other pieces.
It looks to be that way, yeah.
And do you think that's? I mean, this probably confirms that this definitely Yanti, right? Because
Yeah.
if these Grungs are working for that, I wonder what they needed this piece for. Were they just holding on to it, or were they using it for something?
I mean, it was on the altar. I'm gonna. Before we bed down, I'm gonna take a closer look. I'm gonna cast detect magic on it, and I want to look into the coins too, just as a note. As
Sure.
we're going.
Yeah, the detect magic. It has a faint like illusion magic on it. It doesn't. It doesn't seem to be magical. Again, it seems to be. It's like not a full piece.
If I bring it with the other piece, like even if it's half, does it get any stronger on them, or are they still the same?
They're all still the same. But looking at it together, so it looks like the half moon would slot into the curved piece on the one. If you assume that the other half must be identical, just in reverse. To create like that full moon with a hole in the center, and that serpent head would slot into that hole to create like a full thing. So you're pretty confident just looking at them that there's one more piece to create a hole.
Okay, and the necklace piece that we had from the tournament, that doesn't seem to fit in with these, does it at all?
Yeah, that's the piece that the half moon would slot into.
Oh, okay.
Where the oracle eye gem was kind of like jammed in, you pop that out in that groove that's left. This half moon would slot perfectly, or this it would take a full moon essentially, like a circle, but you've only got half of it.
Right. Okay.
And then the hole. So the two sides of the flat sides of the moon, in the center there's like a half moon circle that when together would create a circle that snakehead would slot perfectly into.
Okay. So it looks like we've got 3 out
Is
of
there anywhere around here that we could go to look into such legends that might bring up stuff like this?
Wakanda?
The Yanti,
Wakanga.
Yeah.
Wakanga? Yeah, okay. We really need to
I
talk to
wouldn't-
this Wakanga
I wouldn't
guy.
necessarily trust showing it to anybody else.
No, I absolutely am not on board with showing this thing to anybody who doesn't already know about it, especially a prince right now that we don't know if we can trust. I would be very, because it would
Everybody's
be
pushing him a lot too. Almost too pushy on him.
He seems to be important, maybe too important. But she said obviously Ren knows about it. She knows about it. She'll keep it on the down low as well. She's not going to tell anybody about it, but she'll confer with Ren and see if he's come up with anything. Hopefully, maybe by the time you return, they'll have something they can share. So when you get back, hopefully everything goes well in your expedition. But when you get back, certainly check in to see if there's anything further. You're still apparently out in the jungle. So don't worry, those roars happen time to time at night. Usually they pass us by. So you guys will sleep. You wake up the next day. We'll figure out what occurs during your next day's rest or your next day's journey. So the plan is to wake up early and meet at the docks where Salida and Undra will be waiting for you near your canoes.
Yeah.
Things open early in the morning, so if you need to pick up some last minute supplies, you can certainly grab anything on your way to the harbor. That's fine. But for now, it's 10, so I guess we'll wrap our session here. Had a couple combats, some environmental challenges, some exploration, a little bit of roleplay, a little lighter on the roleplay, but I think decent amount, so it was good, fun. So let's just do a quick round table. Let's start right in the middle with Liz.
Oh my god.
Roses and thorns.
Surprise!
I mean, Baz yeeting that frog was the most amazing thing so far.
That was pretty awesome.
Obviously, I really like venturing out into the jungle for the first time. The flash flood was incredibly unexpected. I did not know that was a possibility in the jungle. I knew it rained, but so that came as quite a big surprise. Yeah, I didn't do a whole lot in the battle, which kind of sucked, but
Still did.
Gerald did good.
Yeah,
That was
he did.
cool. That was Rose as
Yeah.
well. Gerald actually getting to do some cool stuff, being
Yeah.
useful.
Like blow it up a couple times.
Unfortunately, taking the brunt of both of those explosions kind of sucked for him, but
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of health right now because he didn't get the health buffer that we did.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's gonna catch up.
Yeah. All right, cool. Let's go Brad next. Just because he looks like he's ready to go. So
Yeah, I'm getting pretty tired. And I today is the last day off of my block of vacation time. I'm back to work tomorrow. But then I get another 4-day weekend. But and yeah, hopefully this week will be pretty slow. No, it was a really fun session. Yeah, the exploration aspects were fun. The interactions with with Wadumu.
He's amazing. I love him.
Were fun. I liked him a lot. I especially liked that you chose to make it so like when Archie could understand him, he was like, "Oh, okay. Well, here we go. So I'm
No, I'm comfortable.
Yeah, I like that. That was good. I would say inspiration to John for sort of sticking to his newfound like philosophy of like let's try and like not kill and reform, stuff like that. I like that. Your RP with Wadumu was good, and yeah.
cool. John, what about you? I'm just hopping all
I think
over
there
the
was
place.
a lot of good things. I think obviously Brad eating the frog was the highlight. But I really liked the voices he did for the Murloc voices. I enjoyed the fact that the combat with the exploding frogs, the suicidal frogs, I thought was a really cool twist.
Yeah.
Even with the chain reactions and stuff, I thought it kept it like really fresh, not just focus one person down. So I thought that was a lot of fun. Yeah, I think the healing might be a little too bookkeepy, but that just might be for me. I know like other people might really like more of the system and trying to maximize that, but that was just really a minor thing. I thought I really enjoyed all the combat and all the RP today. So yeah, great session.
Cool. Ryan, what about you?
I liked our little friend. He was awesome. Yeah, the environmental challenge was neat, and it felt good that I picked up on it, and I actually rolled good on it. So instead of picking up on it and then failing miserably. So yeah, like it's fun to get those different challenges like that. Unfortunately, I blew up the paper. I'm sure that had everything written down on it, but
It's the key to the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, there was a mess of
Death
stuff
curse.
there. I saw the vials, but I didn't care about them. But
All right, Grungs, here's my full secret plan.
Man, this lists everything from start to finish.
I've entrusted these grungs with every detail. Cool.
So that was
Keep
a lot
it
of
away
fun
from
that
the
way.
exploding frogs.
Yeah. And it wasn't. Somebody said they gave me inspiration, but did you put that on, Corey? Or
I don't think I did. I missed that. Yes.
Because I
there you
had
go.
2, so and now
Yep.
it's down to 1 because I used 1. But
That
so
was
yeah,
me.
I think Blackwind is also warming up to Jonah, up with his view on redemption of people and creatures. So
Cool. Andre, what about you?
No thorns. Seconding everybody else that definitely loved Wadumu. Loved the combat with the blights was interesting, if only because it was like it was kind of unique in that it was a lot of glass cannons, like you were saying. It was just it made it for an interesting dynamic, but definitely loved the Grung and exploding toad fight. I think it's tough to kind of like combat at low levels feels very samey for a while because there's not really any like a lot of low CR monsters that are varied, because once they're varied they become a lot harder to fight.
Yeah.
imagine if they were able to take advantage of the surprise round. That would have been a lot different fight, probably.
So yeah, so that was a lot of fun to have sort of a bit more of a, in the same way as sort of the arena had, and like I feel like it's not to say that combat at low level has been feeling samey. I think it's generally felt very varied and enjoyable, but that was definitely a standout. And then I want to give inspiration to Liz just for all of the really leaning into sort of like the way that she's flavoring her spells and the magic missiles and kind of the pulling elements from her character and really making that her own.
But she loses inspiration because she's getting sand everywhere.
I did figure out my ritual as well. What my ritual
I
forgot to say it.
Just kidding.
Cool.
That's funny.
Cool. Yeah. This for me as a DM, I would just say that I didn't really have any thorns other than the technical issues that I had in the lag, but that wasn't really anything to do with the game. It just Fantasy Grounds was not performing well today.
When he started, you were like, "Man, Fantasy Grounds is running really well."
I know.
I
had to say it, and then my computer just outright crashed. Just turned off, and then poof, gone. Restart everything. So that sucked. But yeah, I thought the fights were fun. I think they were the right level of dangerous. They weren't just slugfests. I mean, the vine fight was, or the blight fight was kind of a slugfest. But yeah, I especially the needle blights. They were real glass cannons. Like the little guys were just there to take up action economy. Like they were not dangerous at all. They were like one hit dead. They do like a D4 of damage. Like they were pretty weak. The vine blight was a tough bugger that could have gone badly if he rolled a bit better. The needle blights, yeah, the fact that I crit, I thought when I crit you, Liz, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna kill her, because it's a 2d6 plus. I was like, 4d6 is a lot when she's only got 19 hit points. I was like, oh god.
Yep.
But you had the but having the temp hit points though in advance because of the bath really helped you guys in that fight. So
yeah, I'm glad we actually got to use those, because we did kind of go into this session or ending last session being like, oh man, it's too bad we're not going anywhere today.
Yeah.
And that crit was the only reason I used magic missiles, because it was my last spell slot. And I'm like, we're not even at the Grove yet, and I'm out.
Yeah. Low level wizards, you got cantrips though, at least pew pew, that you can't hit with for the life of you.
Yeah. Just imagine like first edition where you had one.
You don't even have spells, and you have one hit point and a dagger. That's it. Good luck.
Well,
by the way, you also level 3 times slower than every other goddamn class. Why? Because you're a wizard.
Clerics didn't have spells right away.
Yeah.
As a bookkeeping note, I am 1 spell slot down for today, because it takes, if my golem goes down, it takes a spell slot to enact it.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so he reactivates in the morning just through the use of a spell?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
that's cool.
And technically speaking, it doesn't say anything about having to have the same pieces.
I don't think you do.
I don't think you technically do.
I
But
think as long as you have access, the magic you could even flavor it, and I would be fine with this. You could even flavor it as like when you're casting the ritual in the morning, if you're recreating them, that you're literally pulling rocks out of the earth to do it. I'd be
Because I
fine with
can
that too.
I can make him out of rocks, wood, or metal. He can be any.
Yeah. So if you can't find rocks, you could just pull them together for wood. Like it's
Yeah, I can pull him from the tree and stuff. But
And
she
then we can
doesn't.
light them on fire.
She's figuring it out. So
All right. Well, that will bring us to the end. So I'll just oh, it's dead. So thank you guys again for the session. Thank you for anybody who watched. And we stream Magic Mythal here Sundays, 4 p.m. Pacific time. And we also post our videos up on YouTube, youtube.com/pinwarp. So you can follow us here or there and turn on notifications and see when we go live. You can never miss an episode. And again, thank you so much for my players. And everyone have a great night.
Yep, Happy New Year.
And Happy New Year!